Innocent people sometimes take plea deals. Let me tell you why. In many situations, you're up against it. There may be a witness who swears that it was you who did this crime. There may be an ex who, for whatever reason, says, yes, he beat me, or yes, she stole something from me. And it's your word against theirs. Sometimes the evidence against you is strong even though you didn't commit the crime. So why might you take a plea in that situation? Because the consequences of being convicted are oftentimes much more significant and much more draconian than taking a plea deal. If you're convicted of a crime and you're facing 10 years in prison and they say, hey, we'll reduce this and charge you with a misdemeanor and put you on probation, those are two things you're weighing. Definite prison time or a misdemeanor, a felony conviction in prison time or a misdemeanor in probation. I can still keep my job, I can keep my apartment, I can do all of that if I get convicted of a misdemeanor and just do probation. My life is over if I get a felony conviction and go to prison. Is the risk greater than the consequence? That's something that people have to think about. If you're charged with a false allegation crime like abuse or assault, who's going to believe you versus the victim, right? Because our number one thing is always, why would a victim lie? Why would this person say you did it if you didn't do it? We've all met crazy exes. We've all met people with vendettas. We've all seen videos online of people who just say hurtful and ugly things because they're not well mentally. So if that happens to you, who's the jury going to believe? You or your gaslighting ex? See, in that situation, you may be innocent, but the best course of action, the safest course of action, may be to take a plea to a lesser charge or to some sort of punishment that will let you go on about your life. Innocent people take plea deals because the consequences of losing are oftentimes much, much worse than the consequences of the plea deal.